I have probably looked at more footage from September 10th than any human being in the government or otherwise, anybody on this planet. And I happened to take note of something that I find to be quite strange. And I want to toss it to you guys because the public is more perceptive and capable than our FBI. So let's jump right into this. Welcome back to Candace. I began scanning the people of the crowd obsessively. Obviously, you should see the folders on my desktop. And I'm referring, of course, now to a UVU on September 10th. And there was something that I kept noticing. A weird amount of young men were alone at this event, and they were wearing maroon shirts. In fact, so many of these young men that I was coming across were wearing maroon that at first I legitimately assumed that it had to have been one of the UVU colors. I asked this question so innocently. I was like, to someone at UVU, I was like, oh, are your school colors maroon? And he comes back and he said, no, they're green and white. So my gut told me, okay, that's interesting because maroon is not exactly a highly ranked color for men, okay? And it can't be that all of these men that are wearing maroon also happen to have attended this event alone. So I'm going to show you what I mean. And I'm going to go back to some of these people. This is by no means everyone. I'm just showing you a few times here. Here we go. We have this young man. This is after the shot. He's wearing maroon. Show you another person here sitting there under the tree after the shot, and he's wearing maroon. Show you another person here. We're going to come back to this person who is wearing maroon because his dad is going to say something publicly. 3 people, 1 shot, all of them alone wearing maroon. We're going to come back to the guy at the top there who has the hat, the darker hat on, who is wearing maroon. Just like these strapping young men all wearing maroon. We've got this guy in the bush wearing maroon. I could go on and on. This person of how many people were wearing maroon. I even have a video of someone holding a maroon shirt. Okay. So I mentioned that quite casually. And that thing happened where there was an overreaction for no reason online. So I knew that I was on the right track and I should probably keep going. And I said something, I think it was on X or maybe it was on the show. And then we received hundreds of emails from people past and presently in the military around the world. And they said, yes, Candace, that is military. And so LOL for all of you guys that were saying I'm stupid. I love being called stupid. Every time you call me stupid, it's another little clue that I should follow that. Just, you guys are so obvious, okay? It's the overreaction to simple things. And I feel in my gut that it was not some random coincidence that so many of these fellas decided to wear maroon on September 10th and attend the Charlie Kirk event. When I got in touch with this individual and he sent me the footage, my eye immediately gravitated towards another person who happened to be wearing maroon, who is also alone at the event, who I thought it was kind of strange, did not duck when everybody else ducked after the shot went off. I think I had shown you that. I'm going to show it to you again. I know I identified him as a young man named Jacob Kasparian, and I'm going to show you that video of him not ducking after the shot goes off. Take a look at this.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
And we're going to circle it so you can see it. Okay, that's him. You're going to see everybody duck. And it's going to come back up. And he's still not going to be ducked. He just kind of hits his phone and walks away. Now, regarding Jacob Kasparian, I want to be very clear. I do not think he shot Charlie Kirk because it's really fashionable for people to say that we are accusing everyone of shooting Charlie Kirk. No, I am observing some things that strike me as unusual. And it's unusual that he attended the event alone. It is unusual to me that after researching him, he had posted himself earlier that day at either 8:42 a.m. or 7:42 a.m. I'm unclear on whether or not Facebook is editing the time zones according to what I'm in, the time zone I'm in, or when it was shot. But he's wearing an entirely different shirt earlier that day. It's a dyed blue shirt. And then when he arrives to UVU campus, he kind of hits certain points. He's up high, and then he's at the lower rung, 2 minutes before Charlie gets shot, he's not where he is. And then the next thing you know, he's there. And the reason why he's not moving is because he's recording and he doesn't duck. And I just found that to be a bit interesting. I can show you, by the way, this is a very grainy image of him recording. We're kind of circling it there. It's okay if you can't see it. We've hyperimposed, but I am beginning to suspect that our Maroon boys in general were tasked with taking footage from predetermined angles. Again, it's a suspicion. I'd like to explore it. And the easiest way for me to explore things and rule things out is to open things up to the public. I would like to see if anybody recognizes and can identify these other Maroon boys, because maybe I can determine what their extracurricular activities are. Are they all in the ROTC? As an example, I'm going off of internet vibes. They could be a part of an airborne force, okay? I have never, ever said anything about Adam Bartholomew. I have reviewed his footage, but people online were clocking him as suspicious. They're like, this guy just always happened to be in the right place at the right time. And he has been randomly attacking me. Again, I've never said anything about him. And one of the ways that he instantly attacked was when I mentioned the maroon thing. And he said, my son was wearing maroon on that day. And his son was. That's the person that we showed you. That's Adam, and that's his son. Yeah, that only makes it more compelling because you were capturing footage on that day. So I'd like to know more. And I also find it strange, I will say about Adam Bartholomew, that when the shot rings out, he's live streaming, okay? And he does not stop live streaming to run down and ensure that his wife, who was in the audience, okay, was okay. Odd, weird, and I have a suspicion about the Maroon Boys. I think all of our footage has come from Maroon Boys, and a lot of that footage was then algorithmically boosted. And so I would like to again show you the pictures of these men. And by the way, guys, there's going to be someone that just gets caught in here who just happened to wear a maroon shirt that day. I am sure. If that is you, please just write to me and let me know. Like, no, Candace, I go to UVU, and this is just a shirt I put on. They do look military to me. I will say that. And like these three, it's something that I've noticed. And then obviously we know Tyler Robinson notoriously was wearing a maroon shirt. Could be Boy Scouts, could be ROTC, could be Eagle Scouts, could very much be airborne. So if you guys know anything, please email us. Again, if you recognize these people, I don't want your broader thoughts on the color maroon, but if you recognize these individuals in particular, more tips at CandaceOwens.com. Okay, and then I'm going to tell you somebody that I actually do think is suspicious on that day, and I need to know everything about him. But first, let's get to some sponsors.